wonderful ladies. So it was amazing weather, wasn't it, in the UK over Easter, and it was just so nice to be in the garden again. I'm not really a gardener, but I did some weeding and I planted some plants, and that makes me very happy because I really love having the colour of the plants around me, and it's really rewarding to spend a day pottering around in the garden and tidying things up and cleaning the furniture, because it's like our house doubles in size when it's sunny, because we haven't got a massive house, but we've got a decently sized garden, and so the summer months it just opens up. It just makes such a difference. Anyway, I'm not coming to tell you about my house and my garden. I wanted to talk today about families and about what's normal, because while we had some friends over on Monday for a barbecue, we pretty much had the rest of the weekend, and Good Friday was just the 5 of us. So that's me and my husband Chris, and my eldest son Harvey, who's 17, Jasmine, who's 14, and Zach, who's 11. And so there was, obviously they all want to do their own thing. They've been seeing friends, they've been doing their own stuff, but they've also been on, they've got their favourite TV programmes they watch, or they go on their computers, or they do stuff in the garden. But every evening we got them to come down with us and sit outside, and we'd have game nights and we'd play cards. And then on Sunday evening we all chose a game that we wanted to play. So we had quoits, which is that thing where you throw. We had to kind of we stuck some sticks and some bits and pieces in the ground, and threw you get a little ring about that big and throw it over them. So we did that. We played table tennis. We played Jenga. We've got this big, where each block of Jenga is about that big, this garden Jenga, so we played that. And then we played Risk. And I don't know whether you all know Risk. It's a board game, and you have armies, and you have to attack other people, and you have to get, you're going for world domination, basically. And it sounds pretty bad for someone who doesn't like violence, but it was a game that I grew up with, and we've still got the same board game that I had when I was 13, and it means a lot to me. And so we played that, and let's just say we had arguments before we went out. We had arguments while we were playing quoits, the first game. We had arguments when we were playing table tennis, and so we didn't actually finish our tournament. And we had many arguments while we were playing Risk. And and we had arguments while we were playing Jenga as well, because everyone, like Jasmine and Zach were winding each other up, and one of them was stormed off, and then that one calmed down, and then in another game the other one stormed off, and then there's very heated discussions in Risk about what you're allowed to do. I was told in no uncertain terms that I wasn't allowed to pity anyone and be nice to them. We weren't allowed to talk about what you could do and what you should do. And although it was a good evening, at times it was quite strained, and it was quite stressful, and actually, luckily, Chris and I were fairly calm about it, and sometimes we'll react as well, and then it all goes pear-shaped, and that does happen, like this morning in the school run. But over the weekend, luckily, Chris and I managed to keep it together a little bit, but I just wanted to share that, oh my goodness, it's hard work, and when you've got younger kids who you can't reason with and who can't take themselves off to calm down, it's even harder. And I just wanted to honour you all for having a 2-week holiday or a 4-day bank holiday when you're with family the whole time, and also extended family. Often Easter's a time to get together with parents and siblings, and the issues and the fights, or the undercurrents, or the stuff that's going on. It's not easy to deal with, and it can be triggering, and we can lose our shit basically, or sometimes we don't, and sometimes we can salvage a situation and be good role models. And either way is okay. Sometimes we just do lose it, but other days we just manage to hold it together, and we can laugh and say, oh well, we tried. This is normal. This is what family life is about. And that's the thing about perfectionism, is I always, when my kids were much younger, if one of them had a tantrum or if somebody argued, I went to this black and white thinking of, oh my God, this is spoiling everything. You can't do this. We can't have an argument. It's the end. I'm doomed. Or, oh, it's all my fault. Or it's all your fault. It was very, very black and white, all or nothing thinking. And I've learned that actually everything happens in a family. I had a very wise coach a few years ago who told me, it was about 8 or 9 years ago, while I was realising that I was a perfectionist and how damaging it was. And she said to me, Thea, you've got to expect a rainbow of emotions. You can't live life without this rainbow of emotions. And you wouldn't want it any other way, because otherwise life is monochrome, and you don't live life to the full. You can't have only the good emotions and not the bad emotions. You have to have both and just treat them equally with respect. So that's my message today, is just well done for surviving the holidays, and celebrate your successes and commiserate with everyone else that we all have these arguments. We all have these messed up times. We have these times when we lose it and shout at our kids, or they shout at us, or whatever. And so, well done for surviving, and deep breath. It's all normal.